It was an incredibly rare sight, a tornado touching down at the University of British Columbia, the first tornado spotted in Metro Vancouver in decades, and in November. Only weeks later, disaster, when a cluster of powerful tornadoes ripped through several southern U.S. states, one tracking a staggering 205 kilometers. The destruction was incalculable. Countless homes and businesses gone, dozens of lives lost. Some of the missing remain unaccounted for. Even experts are still trying to understand it.
The longevity, the overnight in December, it's really in a class of its own.
The big question then, is this related to climate change?
That is the harder question.
While climate scientists have good data to predict what a changing climate will mean for larger scale weather events like floods and heat waves, tornadoes are more difficult to predict. But there is mounting evidence that the warming climate will influence future tornadoes too.
The models do tell us, though, that a lot of the conditions, the larger scale conditions that are conducive to tornadoes will be on the increase.
And that means new regions could see an increase in tornado activity. The so-called Tornado Alley across the U.S. states of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and the Dakotas appears to be shifting eastward into the Mississippi Valley. That's where the December 10th tornadoes cut a path of destruction through 6 states. Some research suggests that activity could eventually move north into parts of Canada as time goes on.
Here in Manitoba, the Prairie Climate Center is projecting that by the middle of the century, that southern Manitoba in the summertime will have a climate similar to South Dakota and Nebraska.
Exactly what parts of the country could see more tornadoes in the future, scientists can't yet say for sure. But Canadian building codes have been changing to ensure future builds will withstand heavier winds.
Keeping roofs on homes is key. So enhancing the connections, anchoring those roof connections is a big part of it.
The cleanup across the U.S. will take some time. But as with so many efforts to clean up and rebuild after the fires, floods, and storms of 2021, there is that ever-present thought. There will be more. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, Calgary.